Alright, so let's take a look at what goes into a script coverage and what it looks like. Now, the first coverage we've got up here is from my company, ScreenplayReaders.com. What we do is we focus on helping screenwriters improve their script, or agents and managers find good scripts to pursue. So we're basically a company that just does script coverage for a living. This is what we do. So our script coverage is going to be a little bit different than, say, a coverage from an agency like ICM here. So you'll see there's a lot of header information up here. Title, author, is the writer a client, studio, producer, submitted by. Basically, you've got two different deals. You've got an ICM, which is a script coverage that they did in-house, and you've got a script coverage company like mine, ScreenplayReaders.com. Two different sort of looks, but pretty much the same thing. Another thing you'll notice different between the title page of the Screenplay Readers coverage and the ICM coverage is that they include character breakdowns. Because they're an agency, they might want to say, hey, look, is there anybody in this script worth attaching one of our named talent actors to? So they want to include maybe 5 or 6, maybe 10 juicy parts, as it were. See if maybe there's anybody in the agency that they might want to attach to. The next thing you'll notice is a log line, and this is on page 1 of the ICM coverage, and we put it up here, up at the top. Typically, coverage is going to have the header information like we just listed, title, page count, genre, and all that, followed by the log line. And the log line is basically 1 or 2 sentences describing the script in plain terms, objective terms, no hype, no critique. Basically, here's what the script's about. And you'll find that in pretty much every coverage, the log line. The next section, typical to most script coverages, is going to be the synopsis. And we do a synopsis pretty much the same way that ICM does a synopsis. 1 or 2 pages of what are the basic beats of the story. And that's it. You know, we don't want to judge. We don't want to be subjective. We don't want to go crazy into detail. We just want the major beats of the story so that anybody reading this coverage gets the idea of where the script starts and where it ends up and how they get there. And then finally, the next section you're going to have is going to be the comments section. And in this case, on ICM's coverage, you've got basically a half page of coverage, or excuse me, of comments. Now, Screenplay Readers, over here we've got 2, 3, 4, sometimes 6 pages of comments. And that's because we're focusing on the screenwriter. The screenwriter's coming to us to find out what's wrong with the script and help improve that script, and that's our job. ICM, that's not necessarily their job. They're basically just doing coverage so that an agent, a manager, a named talent person, they don't have to read the entire script. They can just get the gist, and comments are an important part of that. So there's 2 different kinds of comments at least. The kind that really are focused on helping the script improve, and the other kind which is just basically, hey, we're going to augment your reading experience of this coverage by telling you my personal thoughts on where it goes wrong and where it goes right. So it's not ICM's job to go through and give you 50 pages of comments. They're basically, what they're doing is they're doing a coverage that's in-house for their own people, and they're giving you their quick opinion, and that's it. Just so you know, though, there's a variety of ways of doing that. From reader to reader, it varies from studio to studio, agency to agency. You could have a paragraph of comments, no comments, whatever, ranging all the way up to 10 pages of comments. Finally, you're going to have the rating. Now, a rating could be a ratings grid like this over at ICM, ranging from excellent to not so good, in all sorts of different categories like this. Or it could be as simple as what we do here: pass, consider, recommend. Pass, consider, recommend is going to be typical to pretty much all coverage. Now, recommend means, hey, we absolutely love this script, and it's ready to go. Consider means, well, there's some aspects of the script that could use some work, but it's worth a second look. And pass means, well, the script might be all right, but it's probably not worth reading at this point. So those 3 words, pass, consider, recommend, are at the core of what script coverage is. If you don't see those, it's probably not a script coverage. Now, coverage could include this grid, which, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Or sometimes it just has the rating and then 3 pages of comments. The bottom line is there's a billion ways to do script coverage, and there's a billion reasons why script coverage is done. But it's always going to include those 5 basic elements in some sort of fashion, which is going to be a listing of the header elements, all of the title, page count, genre, date, submitted by, author name, etc. It's going to include the log line. It's going to include the synopsis. It's going to include the comments. And it's going to have a rating of some sort, whether it's a grid or just a pass, consider, or recommend. If it doesn't have any of those 5, or it doesn't have all of those 5, it's generally probably not going to be called script coverage. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope that helped.